Dragon Ball Daima episode 19 is officially out on Crunchyroll, which gave us a huge amount of developments and transformation reveals. For this video, I'll be going straight into it and even talk about the final episode preview for episode 20. The episode starts off with Glorio's wish coming into fruition, which transforms the characters from mini to straight up adults. Definitely one of the best things to happen, since a lot of people like myself weren't really the greatest fans of them being small. We see the surprise and eventual comfort of everyone being full-grown adults, with Goku testing out how he feels. Vegeta also saying that he's back to normal, Goku thanking Glorio for the wish. On the main side, we see the appearance of King Gomah commenting on them being back in their prime forms, but Gomah isn't really too impressed, saying that even if they've went back to normal, that it's still not enough. Goku looks back at Gomah, ready to fight him, but Vegeta decides to step in, telling Goku that he's switching up with him and wanting to fight on his own, and of course, to see how he stacks up with his body back to prime shape. Interestingly enough, Goku wants to fight him one at a time, or at least that's how the thing is. You remember in the previous episode, they were all teaming up, but they actually have a fighting chance at beating him one-on-one. And then the fight starts. Vegeta is actually keeping up with King Gomah for a bit, managing to dodge some of his attacks, getting used to back to his body, punching him, and even clashing with some of his moves. Naturally, King Gomah isn't really worried, and it's clear that from a narrative perspective, Gomah is still much stronger. Or at least still stronger, but he performs a much better performance than he did prior. And this is Vegeta at his base form, with him getting used to everything. The episode cuts off to Aranzu and Glorio talking, obviously about the wish that he made. Aranzu is disappointed because she was very nice to him. Still, we see that Aranzu fires Glorio, and he pretty much just goes back to the main cast, with Ku still by Aranzu's side. Getting back into the fight, Vegeta at his base form is still keeping up with him for a bit. He's dodging some of Gomah's attacks and even gets the upper hand at some points, but Gomah uses his hands to try to crush Vegeta. Vegeta isn't actually, one thing I note is that King Gomah says that he can go all day, but right now Vegeta isn't worried because he transforms into a Super Saiyan, escapes, and there is a crazy scene where Vegeta is cycling through his forms, dodging Gomah's attacks, and outright transforms into a Super Saiyan 3. And let me tell you, this sequence is drastically better than when he was in mini form, and even the look of him in Super Saiyan 3 drastically surpasses that of when he was mini, which makes sense. I've always been an opinion of the fact that the mini forms, not really my thing. They should have just had this thing in adult form, but I guess they had a narrative intent with that, and it is what it is. So far though, it's executed very well, with Vegeta looking epic as ever. And this is where the real battle begins and the test of how he compares to how they fought previously. And we see it firsthand as Vegeta absolutely destroys Gomah, gut punching him and even throwing him around like a ping pong ball, or at least whatever term that people use for that. Despite getting another power up with the third eye, Vegeta is still kind of holding his own, smashing him around and even using his signature Final Flash to overpower King Gomah's attack. And yes, this confirms obviously that Vegeta is massively stronger than mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, although you can probably argue he was already comparable or stronger as an adult in his base form right now. Regardless, this clearly isn't enough. Vegeta is tired and he's becoming drained, and we see that the third eye is constantly amping Gomah, and actually if you noticed, King Gomah's injuries are disappearing, so it's almost as if he's going back to normal every time he's about to get defeated or every time he gets another amp. We actually have a scene where Gomah is clearly on another level now because he speed blitzes Vegeta, and Gomah doesn't look hurt at all. Gomah is constantly getting stronger and not getting tired, while Vegeta is only getting surpassed and overpowered and tired. It's also noted by Goku and Piccolo that 1. Gomah is not getting tired, and 2. That Goku and the rest of the cast are still drained. The wish made them into adults, but they have not regained their full stamina. There is still a nerf to them because you can't really fight at full capacity if you're still dead tired. Once again, back into the fight, Vegeta is struggling hard. He's clearly giving it his all and his punches are affecting Gomah, but he's tired and Gomah grabs him by the head. Thankfully, they didn't try to do a scene where he's crushing Vegeta's head, that would be pretty brutal, but instead have Vegeta get punched back and him still wanting to fight. Let us cut away again from the fight for a bit because this is some actually important narrative stuff. So Majin, Ku, and Aranzu go into the battlefield or where the Z fighters are, and they actually tell them some important information. Aranzu tells the cast about Gomah's third eye and that there's actually a way to defeat it or to actually remove it. And the way to remove it is if they can hit him in the back of the head 3 times. If they can do that, then they can help get rid of the third eye, which would help the cast defeat him. So obviously this one-on-one stuff isn't really gonna work. But it's also noted that Goku doesn't have much stamina left, but he still has more than Vegeta. In fact, the entire cast doesn't really have much stamina left, to be honest. So their plan is to basically have Goku distract King Gomah long enough to be able to remove the third eye through some strategy. And then there's a funny scene where Bulma calls Vegeta, telling him to let everyone fight, and even says that she won't take a bath with him again if he doesn't come back there, which makes him instantly appear and let Goku take over, which is a funny scene, honestly. Now, a lot of our favorite characters from Dragon Ball Z, Goku, enters the fray, and I am hyped because I'm thinking in the back of my mind, we are going to finally see Adult Super Saiyan 4, aren't we? Even though he doesn't have his tail. King Gomah comments on Goku, essentially saying that even though he's going into the mix and even though he's an adult, it doesn't matter, and even baits them to fight all at once. But as classic Goku, he decides to fight one-on-one. At least right now, that's the intent, to make it seem like he just wants a one-on-one fight. In the end, they have a strategy. And then we see the final phases of this episode. Goku cycling through Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. And I'm telling you, the art, the animation, everything looks good. They really put their all into this. Naturally, Gomah is blinded for a bit by the light, but not really worried since he already put down Vegeta. And then this is where the most epic part of this episode starts. At first you think, okay, well, Goku can only go into Super Saiyan 3, mini Super Saiyan 4 is just a temporary thing, but he goes even further beyond. Despite having no tail, he transforms straight into what you all know and love. And in fact, there's even a point where he even takes off his shirt. And well, at the final sequence is Super Saiyan 4. You'd think that Gomah shouldn't really be surprised since he had seen the mini version of Goku, but either way, this is the real Goku, Prime Goku, Goku at his best. Goku with one of the most innovative designs and transformations. And yes, I am glazing. But either way, this is Goku. Super Saiyan 4 quotations Goku in his adult form. And seeing this simply day by day because this is what everyone wanted. At least I wanted. You know, the whole kid form mini thing was not something I really liked. But now that we see both of these versions in mini and adult, then I can forgive that and I could be happy. Now let's go into the preview for episode 20. We see more fight scenes with Goku in his Super Saiyan 4 form. One of the things I noticed is that Goku does have some battle damage shown, which tells me that this is going to be a very competitive fight and that it might simply not be enough, which obviously we know now because we know that the strategy to beat King Gomah is to hit him in the back of his head 3 times. But it also means that we might even see fusion. Maybe they can have a point where, you know, Goku and Vegeta are still struggling, but maybe with the fusion bugs, which is still a thing, maybe they can fuse and transform and go into either Vegito, Gogeta, or an entirely new fusion character, fight him in their Super Saiyan 4 form, and then with enough work and strategy, be able to hit him in the back of the head the 3rd time, which eventually puts him back to his base form and have them obliterate him. At least that's one factor. The only other thing I could think of for the fusion would be if Majin Buu and Ku decide to use fusion and they go on a level beyond the current cast, which I don't know. We'll definitely have to see, but the fusion bugs still has to be a thing because that's what they introduced. The question is, will we see a Gogeta or Vegito fusion, or will we see an entirely different fusion of Goku and Vegeta altogether, or will they just have Majin Buu and Ku fuse, or will they not introduce it at all? Who knows? I guess we'll see. What we do know is that the episode title of episode 20 will be called Zenkai. Either way, let me know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it, dislike it, thought it was neutral? Let me know all of your thoughts, and be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.